journey to the unseen. Probably about the hereafter. The last question.
I was really interested in what you just said. Sorry, your last comment just now made me very interested in the concept of time. Because in terms of clock time, we understand it in something that we can measure. But psychological time is something that is very different depending on the activity that you have and so on. So what kind of time are you referring to when you're saying it's eternity rather than time as we understand it here? Can you explain a bit more?
Very good question. Again, a very philosophical question. These are the things that I do not wish to enter. This is a valley that has no end. But very briefly, you know, when the Quran or the traditions, they describe time to us, it would have the timing as we understand it. The eternity, when we talk about, is it a psychological? There were traditions asked by the Holy Prophet, is it the soul that will, the spirit that will enter the paradise, or will it be a body? Will we be resurrected with our bodies? Yes. And then there were many arguments. What about the people that were eaten by other animals? They've become a part, their body has become a part of another animal. Will they be brought back? What about the things that become powder and they become earth and they become plants and soil and they're eaten? So a person mashed up an old bone into powder and brought it to the Prophet and blew it on his face. وَمَنْ يُحْيِي الْعِظَامَ وَهِيَ رَمِيمٌ, and he blew it on his face in chapter number 36, Surah Yasin. He said, and who will resurrect these bones that have become powder? The Almighty God said, قُلْ يُحْيِيهَا الَّذِي أَنْشَأَهَا أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ خَلْقٍ عَلِيمٌ. Say to them, the one who created them the first time when they were nothing will resurrect them. Because making them the first time when they were nothing, making something from nothing, when we make something, we make it from something. God made everything from nothing. Making something from nothing is more difficult than resurrecting something, bringing it back to life. So He can bring it, and He has knowledge, and He is all informed. So He'll bring it back, and then it will be a physical body that will enter the paradise for eternity, and infinity. What does that mean? Hum fiha khalidun, the Holy Quran continuously says, and they are there forever. One of the beautiful sayings by Imam Ali, and I want to end it with this tradition. He says there are three things in heaven, in paradise, in Jannah, which are better than the Jannah itself. He says, number one, eternity. No matter how good you do in this world, there is always that thought in the back of your mind, I'm going to die. But once you are dead and in the paradise, there is no end. He says, it is only and only in paradise, but it is better than the paradise. There is no end, there is eternity. It is better than the paradise. He says, it is better than the paradise itself. Secondly, he says, the pleasure of God, and I leave it to these two. He says, no matter how good you do in this world, you're not sure if God is pleased with you or not. You think, I wish He is pleased with me. But if you're in paradise, you are sure that God is pleased with you, because He wouldn't place you in paradise unless He was pleased with you. So that is better than the paradise itself. And the third thing I didn't mention because I didn't want to, but the neighborhood of the good ones, the Holy Prophet, the messengers of Allah and His holy progeny. Because they are the highest level of humanity. They served, from Adam to Muhammad, all the prophets, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, David, all of them, peace be upon them all. They will be in paradise. And you are a neighbor to them. Whenever you wanted to see them, you knock on the door and say, I just want to see you once again. He said, that feeling that you have access to them for eternity is very beautiful. So he says, three things exist in paradise and are better than the paradise. And I end here. I could continue, but I think it would be not justice to all the people present. Thank you very much for listening.